This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting, proudly sponsored by Boohoo Man. I'm joined by Coach Daley Perales down at his gym in London, Trenches Boxing. Daley, it's good to catch up with you again. We'll just go straight into it then. Deji, six-pack, how close are we?
Well, I mean, at the charity football game, he's looking pretty trim. I spoke to him the other day, actually, and he's way lower in weight than he was in all these fights against Swarms, Fuzi, so it's looking pretty good.
He's got only a week left, but he'll do it though.
Yeah, it depends, because you remember he's not doing boxing training. Right. Because obviously he hasn't got no fights, so it's more focused on nutrition and strength and conditioning to get his body in shape. But I know his weight at that was last week, so hopefully he's gone down lower.
And then eventually, when he fights again, will you fight with a six-pack? Will you weigh in with a six-pack?
So I've told him, whether it happens or not, I've told him that when you get the six-pack, you might as well fight while you're like that, just so you can see for yourself how you feel in a fight, looking at the weight you should be at when you fight. So, I've told him anyway, so let's see.
Let's see indeed. But then would he have to, he last fought, 165? Would he have to go down a little bit of weight, maybe fight 160 or 155?
Yeah, or even 155. So, it's looking good. It's looking good. I think when he was boxing Swarms, I think it was like at 79 kg, something like that, and he's way lower than that at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, good man. Well, hopefully he does get the mill. And King Kenny, I spoke to Mams on Zoom, and he was very tempted to making the Salt Pappy versus King Kenny fight. Do you reckon we can see that maybe later in the year? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, for sure. It just makes sense now. There's no point fighting anyone else. And we're very confident, not in an arrogant way or anything like that, but we're very confident to fight Salt Pappy. Everything's about timing as well. People expect you to fight X, Y, and Z, but people forget about the business side of things as well. The magnitude of the show, and business-wise, money-wise, weight-wise, there's a lot of factors involved. So hopefully, if the weight's right, as Kenny says, if the money's good, and it's the right event for it as well, because obviously we want a lot of eyes on it.
Yeah. It is a massive fight now, after both coming off wins as well. They're both coming off losses, now off wins. It is the right time for it. We'll talk about this then. KSI returning back in Dublin at the end of August, fighting two people, Anthony Taylor and obviously Slim. Were you surprised when you heard their announcement?
I was, but at the same time I wasn't, because it's Misfits, and anything goes in Misfits. I'm not very clued up on this 2 versus 1 thing. Yeah. Is it Anthony Taylor and Slim would tag each other in? Yes. So it's like that. It's not literally 2 versus 1. Yeah. Well, then I think maybe the other person is not even going to get tagged in, because KSI will knock him out.
Well, they can only make one tag each round.
Each round? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It might not even last the second round. Whoever starts off first, I can see KSI knocking them out.
But then there's a new rule where KSI can beat both people. So say he knocks out Slim, he's still got to fight AT as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which makes it more exciting, I think.
That makes it more interesting then. I think Anthony Taylor has a better... I'm not saying he's going to win, but Anthony Taylor has a better chance over KSI than Slim. I think KSI is going to be too strong for Slim. Physically, but physically I think AT matches up with KSI physically. Mm-hmm. Fundamentally, KSI has got the better boxing ability, so I could see him knocking out Slim, but I could see him beating Anthony Taylor on points, because Anthony Taylor will probably just hug him. that's probably what he'd do.
Do you not think AT would change his style? I know Mams had a few words to him to say, come on, let's be a little bit more exciting nowadays.
He will, and Anthony Taylor is very good at talkings, and he'll say he'll probably do that, but then when it comes under the lights, and, you know, there's two sides to Anthony Taylor. There's the bully side, but then there's the one that he's in fear of getting knocked out himself. I know boxing pretty well, and I can read it pretty well. If he's in someone that he can easily bully, Anthony Taylor looks somewhat okay. If he's in with someone that won't allow Anthony Taylor to bully him because they have more experience or just as much as experience, then Anthony Taylor, that's when the side of him where he's wary about his opponent, you know.
So you reckon he'll be working the clinch, or do you reckon he'll be standing and banging?
I think he'll go for it, but just he'll go for it a bit like how he done with Kenny, where he'll go for it, but when he gets inside, he'll hold and he'll try and work on the inside to make it look like to the judges he's doing something. But I think it's going to be very hard for him to even get close to KSI because KSI's got more experience than Kenny, you know. And I just think, you know, that Kung Fu style KSI has as well. If he's a bit more smart with it, like against Tommy Fury, I reckon he could have been a bit more smart with it. If he's a bit more smart with that style, with the small details of like feinting, level changing, sometimes going to high guard, not always keeping that Kung Fu bouncy style, I reckon Anthony Taylor won't really get near him to be able to do all that kind of stuff. Because if he does as well, KSI is very good on the inside at being like rough and dirty, and you need to be dirty in boxing. You need to learn to be dirty in boxing. So I think he'll beat him at range, but also I reckon he'll be the more physical on the inside.
Prediction for that fight then, how does it go down?
Yeah, KSI wins, beats them both. It'd be interesting. It's Slim. It's not that I don't think Slim's good. It's just I think he won't be physically. He won't be able to handle the.
His camera as well, all that. Give it more prominent.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to handle the strength, the physicality of KSI. Because you got to remember, KSI naturally walks around as well. You got to think about what he naturally walks around at when he's not fighting. Does Slim get anywhere close to what KSI is walking around at? No. And I think Slim would have to come up as well. Yeah.
Slim last fought at 165. In the fight will be at like 180. So.
Oh, yeah, well, that's it. That's a wrap right there. It's a wrap right there. That's why I think KSI will knock him out. Right. Just based on that. You know.
I guess it is quite a big kind of. I guess in Slim's mind, KSI will come down to 175. But if KSI is weighing 200 pounds right now, is he going to want to come down that much weight? No.
Exactly.
Not in 2 months anyway.
But for Slim's case, what it does for him is good for his profile. To be on a stage like this, he's earned it. He's won every fight. He's beat the golden boy of Misfits. Apart from KSI, Salt Pappy. So he deserves this. To given the platform to try and have a go.
Yeah, he has deserved it. I'd say.
I don't care about Anthony Taylor. But I respect him though. What I say about Anthony Taylor, he's a hustler. That's what I like about him. He hustles. He's
worked his way up. He's done well.
Yeah. It's good. He's used what he has to sell himself. It's good. You can only respect it.
Certainly. And then just moving up, or about in a month's time away, just over a month, we got Jake Paul versus Mike Perry. It was announced yesterday. Yeah. You heard of Mike Perry before this? You familiar with him?
Yeah. I'm familiar with Mike Perry. An interesting fight because Mike Perry ain't gonna back down, is he? So it could be. It's a dodgy fight actually because he's got that fight with Mike Tyson.
Which is still scheduled for November, I believe. Yeah.
Exactly. But having this, it's a brave thing to do, you know, to have this kind of fight, knowing that you got Mike Tyson afterwards as well. Because it's smart, but at the same time, you got it's dangerous. It's smart because in the way that, you know, Mike Perry was MMA, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, MMA.
Then he's also done some bare knuckle as well.
But his style is of an MMA style. And MMA in the boxing world, with gloves on, is a bit different to the stuff he's been doing. And Jake's been doing boxing now for so many years. So in that sense, Jake has the advantage, you know. But it could be very dangerous because Mike Perry is, you know, he gives it, he can punch, he can dig. And he's from that world where everything's rough and you know, so, yeah.
He's a madman. He definitely has got a few screws loose, Mike Perry. Yeah, if we're all being honest ourselves here.
It could be a dangerous fight for Jake Paul, you know what I mean? It would be exciting. I think it would be like a toe-to-toe.
But it depends like what the weight is. If it's like 200 pounds, then I'd say Jake Paul domination. If it's at like 185, and I think, okay, this is going to be a pretty even matchup here.
Well, I don't know what Mike Perry fights at, you know?
Like, he kind of fights at 180 and then 175.
Yeah, that's the problem with all this stuff, man. Jake Paul's got... And that's why I respect KSI as well, to be going, listen, you either fight at this weight or we're not fighting. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, you can't expect KSI to fight at whatever, 200 pounds, you know. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, though.
Yeah, you'll tune in.
Yeah. I'll always tune in. Yeah.
And then were you kind of happy that the Mike Tyson fight was off for a minute? And it's been rescheduled now? Are you kind of like, sugar?
Yeah.
Are you a big fan of that fight? Do you like the fact it's happening? I can imagine as a hardcore boxing person, you probably absolutely despise it.
No, I don't like it, but I understand it at the same time because if you look at the history, go down the history, even Muhammad Ali had these kind of exhibition fights, you know. And when you're getting millions chucked at you, it's very hard to turn down. So that's why I always say boxers, when they say they're retired, it's a lie. They're never retired because all someone has to do is chuck money at them, enough money, and then they'll fight again. You know, it's like even Andre Ward is seeing loads of posts of Andre Ward now, training, sparring. What's he doing all that for? You know?
Does he need the money, Andre Ward? Did he not make enough in his career?
He made enough, but at the end of the day, money runs out if you don't keep making it. Yeah. You know? So if he does come back, I could see him versus Canelo. That'd be good. Yeah.
Do you reckon you give Andre Ward one more fight and then go to Canelo, or straight into Canelo? Yeah, one fight and then Canelo, because he's been out for a very long time. What weight was Andre Ward? Super middle and light heavy. Light heavy, okay. Yeah. Well, that's where Canelo lost to Bivol in light heavyweight. Yeah. Are you picking Bivol or Beterbiev?
I'm going to stick with, Beterbiev, yeah.
Everyone says Beterbiev or Beterbiev. Everyone's always a little bit confused with the names.
Today, because you're saying it a different way, other people say it a different way. But I think, Bivol will do well, obviously. He's a class fighter, very technical. But I think later on down the stretch, Beterbiev will get to him. Beterbiev.
I need to find out how you pronounce there. Because you go on some like broadcasters, and they pronounce it different to other broadcasters. It's kind of weird how they don't get like a press email saying, this is how you pronounce this name.
Hopefully I'll meet him one day so I can ask him, like, how do you say your name?
Asking how do you say your name to a scary Russian bloke.
Especially if you're in the media, right? If you're like a journalist or anything, you've got to get their names right, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah. It's always considered. I guess, especially in their culture as well. English people don't really care too much, but in their culture, it would be considered like probably a massive disrespect.
Yeah, definitely. What are you up to anyway?
Off to America again for the Jake Paul Mike Perry, and then probably stay out there doing a bunch of interviews and then go over. Oh, I can't say too much actually because a lot of events haven't been announced. But yeah, they got the Jake Paul Mike Perry one, which has been announced, which I can talk about, which is exciting. Probably Logan and Paul will probably be there. Yeah. Jake Paul, and for the Jake Paul Mike Perry one, it'll kick off in fight week. Mike will do something crazy, or push him, or get really angry.
And then you got KSI in August.
Yes.
That would have been if Deji didn't if Deji don't fight on that show, because that'd be a good show for Deji to be on.
Yes.
It
would have been, yeah. With the momentum of like him being really popping because of his six pack and that being the trend and that rolling over to the next month.
And fight Wasabi.
That's the one you guys are thinking for, Wasabi.
Me, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know what he's thinking, but I just always want him. I just know, obviously, we were only together for a few weeks in that fight, so I know he can beat Wasabi. It'd be a good one for the fans. So the fans want to see that rematch.
Well, it's all about storylines here, really. It's all about the storylines, and for that one, you got a heavy storyline right there.
And if Deji didn't fight on that show, I don't know. That's a good one, actually. August.
There's going to be a miss. Maybe you could do it on that. If that fight ever happens, you can maybe do it on that card or whatnot.
Because that's a big card. KSI is on it, so all eyes are on it. So that could be a good one, or a bit further on later on in the year.
We see what's happening. Any news on trenches? Anything exciting down here?
No, just the same old grinding away. You know what I mean? Just training. So actually, we've got. Where is he? He's not here. He's downstairs. Hamza Mahmood. He's just signed to me, turning pro now. He was part of Team GB for 3 years. 2-time back-to-back ABA champion, 8 gold medals, podium GB fighter, Olympic training camps around the world. So I'm very excited for this.
Is that your most experienced amateur pedigree star to date?
Yeah, the pedigree he has as an amateur is probably my biggest fighter that I've got from the amateurs. So it's a nice small stable. I like to keep it small. So on the pro side of things, keeping it small, so I've got time to train them and develop them to get them to where I want to. But yeah, look out for Hamza, man. He's like a Lomachenko.
Really?
That's
How old is he?
24.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Good age.
24. He had 84 or 86 amateur fights, 160 something. Mm-hmm. So yeah, very good.
And how are George and Martin?
George, I don't know. George is on holiday. Martin, though, he's just back.
From where?
He broke his hand in that last fight, and it's taken a very long time to recover because obviously he had 2 operations on it to mend it. Mm-hmm. But there might be something very exciting for Martin later on in the year.
Good man.
I can't say much, but it's going to be good. And all you lot will know about it.
Yeah, well, I do have to do. I can't believe I've never interviewed Martin because I don't know. Would he still be a character on camera?
Yeah.
Would he?
Yeah. He is every day in the gym. It's going to be. It's not going to be quiet when he's around.
No, it's quite nice right now where he's not here and it's really, really quiet and peaceful, and he's not coming over prodding you or poking you, or saying something completely random.
If Misfits ever do something like in the pro side of things.
He's boxed on all the Wasserman shows before.
Yeah.
And obviously Misfits and Wasserman is a joint company.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So if there's ever a pro thing with Misfits, we're definitely going it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Daley, I do appreciate it as always, and I'll come down to the gym It'll probably be about August time before KSI Fight Week to get some hype on that. But thanks very much as always.
No problem. Thank you.